Hello everyone, welcome to PSIR 300 Plus channel. This is me Sayyid Shujatullah, your educator. Those who are watching me for the very first time, a small advertisement is there towards your extreme left of your slide. So it should be written at PSIR. So PSIR 2026 or 2027 or 2028, all of that will be definitely changed once we move to some other year. So the features of the course is very simple and obviously very unique. We are having live classes and you will be getting recorded classes. Before that you will be getting another chance to hear directly from me. That's why we call it as real live classes. 1-to-1 evaluation, 1-to-3 evaluation, group discussions are there here. You will be getting GS paper 2 completely free, concepts and test series etc, so and so forth. Complete material, topic wise material on that particular topic, model question and answer will be given to you. You have to just by heart them, memorize them and write in the examination. Your job is done. Don't become a researcher, don't become a continuous learner. This particular examination gives you 1 year to get the job done, get the job, and serve the society or fulfill your aspirations whatever you have. Then current affairs are completely covered with regard to all subjects I will be giving you. If you're a part of this, then more details of this course you can contact to this particular number. I will be having a demo session with you. Let us go ahead and try to talk about what are your weaknesses, strength, etc, so and so forth. For women 23,000 is there. For general category, if a woman can able to pay and want to be here and pay the same, so they can do that. Okay, today we'll be talking about a very static topic which is there in our syllabus, that is the concept of power. In our syllabus they have given under the concept of power, hegemony, ideology, legitimacy. So repeat it with me so that it will be easy for you to understand the syllabus and you know that what actually you are going to study. And on the basis of this concept only, over the period of time, whenever you hear any news articles, whenever you read news articles, whenever you listen to the news, you will able to categorize that what kind of power is being imposed, whether it comes under hegemony or ideology or legitimacy. All of these are relevant even today. Remember this point, all of these are relevant even today, and you will be able to correlate also. Okay, today our topic of discussion will be on authority before going into these three important discussions. Okay, so obviously when we are starting a chapter, there should be a detailed discussion with regard to various angles of power. Then we understand this and we'll try to correlate. But before going into the discussion, I would just like to give you some important examples and one statement definition with regard to these three, so that when we are going into the discussion, you are able to relate yourself with any of these particular concept of power, and that will form a very good basis of interdisciplinary, you can say, or inters within the power concept. You are able to have a better understanding. Okay, right, hegemony is nothing but, remember this point, forceful. It is always forceful implementation of rules, policies, procedures, laws on the citizen, that is called as what, hegemony. Remember this point, on the citizens. So basically what happens here is, suppose if you are saying someone to do, okay, bhai ye kaam kar de, suppose he will not do that, what you will do, karta ya nahi karta, like that you will do or not? Yes. So you are flexing that you are threatening to harm, threatening to detain, threatening to arrest, threatening to punish, threatening to banish also, means go out of my country, like that. That is also possible, right? So a lot of people, Julian Assange is there, he has now taken the shelter in Russia, so you can just say that he is a WikiLeaks founder, and he has just released a lot of confidential documents with regard to US and Western European countries and Australia. So he just was most seeked person with regard to enforcement authorities. So he just went to Russia and taking asylum over there, means he has to run away from the country itself. Okay, so that is also there. Hegemony is basically forceful implementation of rules, policies, procedures, laws on the citizen base. It usually means what, flexing. Okay, just like how the we say that China is showing hegemony in the South China Sea. Okay, this is our okay, very badly I'm trying, so let us at least draw something which is okay. This is again, it is not so good. Now please don't mind for it. यार geography थोड़ा सीख लेना चाहिए, थोड़ा थोड़ा थोड़ा. Okay, this is India, and you know that this is South Asia, and this is Japan, and you are having here Indonesia, Malaysia. This area is called as South China Sea, and Taiwan is also there somewhere here. So China is always having what flexing its muscle with regard to this sea and also on Taiwan. So China is doing what it's showing is hegemony over the entire South China Sea and also on the Taiwan. So China is flexing with regard to its military and defense power here. Okay, then we comes to the ideology. Ideology is nothing but a cult. A cult is a group which actually follows one particular values, actually follows one particular objectives. They continuously seek that particular thing. That is called as what? Ideology. Okay. Just like recently, I have watched a movie. That movie is we are having like Surveen Chawla was there in that movie. I don't Mandala Murders. Okay, Vani Kapoor was also there. Mandala Murders. In Mandala Murders, you will see that Vani Kapoor is a police officer. Obviously, she is chasing a cult. Means a group of individuals who has created their own god called as what? Yakshi, something like that. Okay, so for that to give the rebirth to that particular god, they have to actually kill seven people, and they do it. Finally, they do it. Obviously, they will kill seven people and try to attach from one person head, one person heart, one person like that, like that. They will do that. Okay, torso, etc. So and so forth. That is called as what? Ideology. In India, ideology is basically we will have what religion ideology we follow. In India, Hindutva is ideology is being followed by BJP. In Bangladesh, Islamic ideology is being followed by Islamicist. Both of them are secular, but still religion ideology exists in our country. That is a sorry state of affair. Then we also have what caste ideologies are there: BC, ST, Yadavs, etc. Shinde. This kind of caste ideologies also exist in our country. Okay, then we also have like welfare ideologies are also there. Welfare of the citizen ideology. One is what? Capitalistic, socialistic, communist ideology. So in ideology, we are having all of these kind, and which one we are into, you know it better. Okay, we are actually a combination, not just because of mixed economy. We are a combination of all kind of ideology. Regional levels we play with caste, and national levels we play with like Hindutva or minority appeasement policies. And when it comes to economics, so it is very difficult. Congress promotes socialistic pattern of society, and whereas in this particular era of BJP, we see a lot of governmental enterprises is being sold to the private people. So we see more of capitalism inclination. So we are actually following all types of ideology, but one thing is very true, that we do not follow the hegemony for sure. Now, what is the meaning of legitimacy? Legitimacy is nothing but getting the power with the consent of the people. Getting the power with the consent of the people. This is more of like a legitimate government is one which is having the what I say is that approval from the masses. That is called as legitimate. So we are like that only in the form of what? Democracy. Whereas if you talk about Gulf countries, if you talk about Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc., they are not democratic countries. Okay, their legitimacy arrives from their history, where they have been kings after kings after kings like that. So their legitimacy is like that, but that is not called as true legitimacy. Why? Because legitimacy word itself relate to what? Approval from the masses. So in Saudi Arabia, then Qatar or Dubai, we do not have the masses representation with regard to choosing a power to give a approval of the masses. Is not there with regard to the power holders. Okay, I hope all of these are very clear to you. Let us now do some particular exercise which is called as memorize student work. Very, very important, because as a political science student, as a PSIR student, you should be knowing that few authors which have described the political science in a very macro manner, in a one statement. You should be knowing it. In the interview also, they may ask you some questions with regard to this. They may say that, okay, you have PSIR as your optional. Can you tell some of the important authors who has summed up PSIR in one liners or one statement? They can ask you this particular question. So it is very important that you should be knowing who said what. Plus these are directly can be asked in general essay. There it will be more helpful to you. So let us now discuss and talk about or memorize. According to J.W. Garner, you can say the renowned political scientist, like that you can say, that is also enough. He said that politics begins and ends with the state, means nothing but government. So government is there means politics is there, government is not there means politics is not there. So he did not include people into his definition, but he said everything with regard to what? State, nothing but government here. So this can come directly into the examination in the general essay paper 1 also. They may ask you that politics begins and ends with the state. So that's all. So now you have to talk about all these things whatever we are learning today. Then R.G. Jettel wrote that politics is a study of state, nothing but country in the past, in the present and future. How was the politics before? Very few parties were there. How was the politics in the 1970s or 1980s or was? Now how are the politics? Multi-party system is there. Numerous parties are there in our country. Whether we should restrict the number of parties, whether there should be multi-party system should be there, or pluralistic party system should. Pluralistic is nothing but very like 5-6 parties will be there in a country. Multi-party means n number of parties will be there. Presidential form of government means 2 parties will be there. Usually I'm saying that. So how the politics have changed, it's over a period of time in its landscape from the 1947 to present today. So you should be writing one model answer for this and sending me on this particular WhatsApp or mail. You should be doing one model answer on this also. Then Lusky told that politics is the study of politics concern itself. He gave a very good definition which I really like also. He said that politics is all about people and the state. That's what he said. But in the people is nothing but men and women. At the time transgenders and all were not there, so he might have not included. But men or man itself includes all the human community, we say like that. So he said that it's a relationship between men and women with the organized state. So it is a more apt definition as far as the other 2 definitions are concerned. Okay, I hope this is all clear to you. Your job is very simple. You have to by heart memorize this again and again. Why? Because when you are writing, because this hegemony related concept, this has been asked in 2025 mains examination. Tomorrow they may ask you this, tomorrow they may ask you this, but you should be knowing this 3. You should be writing at least 2 of them in any of the concept or not. Yes, it is very important. That's how you differentiate yourself from the topper. I don't want you to become a ranker. I want you to become a topper. That's all my intention is here. Okay, always aim for the perfection. Always aim for the top. Okay. Now let us talk about concept of power. Political लीडर्स होल्ड पावर, वी नो दैट. पॉलिटिक्स का मतलब है कि पावर, बिजनेसमैन का मतलब है कि पैसा. व्हाट कॉमन मैन होल्ड? राइट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन फॉर श्योर. राइट नाउ, जस्ट नाउ, पॉज द वीडियो एंड राइट इट. कॉमन मैन होल्ड व्हाट? ओके, neither, obviously you might be writing neither power nor paisa, but try to write something which helps you to engage with me all the time. Okay, right. Now when you are discussing about the power, we should be learning some important aspect of power, how the power can be conceptualized, what the power can do, who the power can, what I say is that who can hold the power. So all of these small nitty-gritty questions you need to understand with the help of the concept of power only. So what is power? There are 2 important views are there. One is realist power, that is like how we see power कैसा है हमारे हाथ में, अरे भाई इसको मारो, उसको influence करो. That is called as what? Power. What is a jurist view? Means how the lawyers, how the judiciary, how the legitimacy will understand what power is. Okay, so when you talk about the realistic power, power is central to the political authority. We know that power means politics. That is what I have told you, because it is concerned about the state, which is a force. Power से ही force आता, right? So they will implement policies, etc. so and so forth. So in reality, realistic means in reality power means central authority. किसके पास power है इंडिया में? बोलते हम क्या बोलेंगे? We call say that it is a political leaders के पास है, because it is a power is concerned with whom? It's concerned with state, nothing but government. Government क्या है? It's a force of what? To implement laws, policies, etc. so and so forth. Jurist view, very good view, very nice view. Noble views will be there obviously with regard to the jurist view. Okay, who regard the state as a legal association. See, I told you, no, they will talk very technically. That is how they always talk about the legal luminaries. That's how our constitution becomes so big, because these people were there inside the making of the constitution in large number. Jurist view, if you see, who regard the state as a legal association, means legally you are a group, like that means elections held legally and you are given the power. That's why they are saying that you are a legal association. Okay, and you are that the notion of imperative means compulsory and superior force associated with the state is not arbitrary. As because you are a legal association and you are compulsory, you are a superior force associated with the state. Okay, Obviously you are like PM and Modi ji and the cabinet minister, they are the legal association group of members, okay, and they are the superior force in our country to implement laws, but that is not arbitrary. That is not arbitrary. It should be a qualified force, just like how we are having in the fundamental rights are not obsolete, we say they are all qualified, means they have to qualify certain conditions, then only you it will be given to you, otherwise it will not be given to you. Just like right to life is there, means ओके राइट टू लाइफ, जीने का मुझे हक है, तो मरने का भी मुझे हक है क्या? नहीं है. यू कैन नॉट, सुसाइड इज क्राइम एंड पैसिव यूथनेशिया भी हम अभी नहीं करे हैं लीगल. सो जस्ट इमेजिन ए पॉइंट हियर दैट whether it is citizen, whether it is a government, the jurist view says that the power should be having what some qualifications. You cannot be using it arbitrary. To put it more simply, it is a force exercise in the name of law. That's all about it. Whatever the legal association is there, whatever the prime minister and the cabinet ministers are there, they have to use the force, nothing but power, only in the name of law. Law banao, law के हिसाब से आप implement करो, without making a law. Just don't force it on us. Okay, so how it should be a exercise, qualified or not? Please write in the comment section again. Make sure that you engage with me in one or the other way, so that I will be also motivated to ask you this kind of question. So this is the second question for all of you, whether the power need to be qualified or not, and you can also elaborate of your understanding how you want it to be qualified, what conditions to be there on the prime minister and the cabinet minister, what conditions should not be there. You can elaborate how much you want to. Writing in the comment section will only help you to master your topics more better. Okay, so till now what we have seen three important concepts of power which are given in our syllabus. One is hegemony, ideology, legitimacy. Then I have given a work. I told you that you need to know some renowned political scientists and what they have said. This may come into mains examination, this may come into directly in the PSIR also, or they may ask you in the interview. Then we have talked about concept of power. Here one question I have given, here one question I have given. Then the concept of power, one is realistic view, really what is the view of yours, and the jurist view, more of what balancing thing whenever the jurist come into picture. Then let us see some definitions. Power is the ability to influence the behavior of others in accordance with its own ends. Very true. Okay, government uses this power and makes law, and that's how we have to behave. So government uses the power to actually influence our behavior in accordance with the law that they have created to achieve ends, means what they want to achieve. Like government says that, okay, imposes a power called as what, child marriage restraint act is there. No one can marry their children less than 18 years of age. So that particular power, government use that power through the law, and we government want to change our behavior. Government want to change our behavior. No, you cannot get her married before 18 years. So according to what own law, what the law is created to meet own ends. What are the own ends? In order to make sure that female infanticide should decrease, sex ratios should increase, and the girls should not be considered to be a burden on the family. Okay, and they should be given enough choices in their life with regard to marriage, with regard to reproduction, with regard to education. So there are n number of things are there. That's why you cannot get her married less than 18 years. So power is imposed in the form of law to meet the end of what? To decrease the female infanticides and to give the due value to the girls. Power, then the second important definition is power is the capacity to impose one's will on other by reliance on effective sanctions for non-compliance. Okay, that was given by Berger. Okay, Berger, remember this point. So when you get a question like hegemony that you have got in PSIR 2025 mains examination, so you can use the definition and you can just write an example that how I have given. For example, child marriage restraint act. Here also you can give non-compliance. Non-compliance, you are not obeying something. Then like you are not obeying what? Traffic signals. The government will come up with a traffic act and imposes on its will on others. Nothing but others here is us. Okay, and put effective sanctions for non-compliance, means effective sanctions are nothing but you will be punished also. Sanctions are nothing but punishment. So if you non-comply, we will punish you. Okay, so government will generally use the power, make a act and says that comply with it, otherwise you will be punished. Okay, so very elaborate definition is given by Berger. Remember this point. So you can just give an example here also. Okay, like that you can easily write 150 words of your answer with regard to concept of power. Don't think that they will not ask you hegemony, they will not ask you concept of power, and they will be only asking you hegemony, legitimacy, authority. No, they can directly ask you in the 5 marks, in the first section only 5 marks compulsory section, they may ask you concept of power. That's all they will write, that's all only. Okay, at this point of time, whatever we are learning, you have to be very choosy. Why? Because when you're talking about concept of power, you cannot end with concept of power. You have to write the other three importance of topics in that: hegemony, legitimacy. Little 2-3 points you have to write for all of them by taking a political scientist name. Because when you talk about political scientist, no, in your answer, you don't need to elaborate it. You don't need to elaborate it, and you don't need to over explain it. That's why when you take the name of a political author and try to explain from their view, what happens is that will be end of the discussion itself, and examiner will give you full marks because you have already taken the name of a great political scientist. Okay, for example, I have given here with regard to the power, the Speaker of Lok Sabha, who has the power over the members of the Lok Sabha in the context of parliamentary session, does not have any other power with regard to their social and political life. So power can be here omitted, power can be here eclipsed, means can take some of your areas of your rights, cannot take some of your areas of your rights. So power can be in exercise in limitations, can be exercised overall also. The dictator uses the power very crudely, very rawly, very violently they use it. Power seeks to achieve a variety of ends for the political holders. Some of them are taking the power for the purpose of fame, some of them are using for the purpose of reverence, some of them are using for the purpose of like being secured, some of them for the respect, some of them for the affection, some of them for the wealth and corruption, and many other values. So if you're writing this, no, one side of the page will be completely over. So that's how it is very important. You have to learn more to write less. Okay. Charles Merriam was the first philosopher to make a detailed intellectual study of political power. He considered the power as a basic concept of politics. No politics, no power, no power, no politics. Right or wrong? Yes. Power is coercive, means it will influence, it will push you, and its ultimate sanction is what? Force. So power is coercive, means it will push you, it will make you to comply, okay, through the force. If the force is nothing but police people, do it like that. So it is coercive, means they will ask you to obey this. If you don't, then they will use the force. Merriam's solution to the problem of political power was its widest possible distribution. This is a very important thing that I really also love it. He says that if a central political power is there, no, that political power is only the center of all powers, no, what will happen? That will lead to what? Hegemony or autocratic or dictatorship. That's why he said that if you want the power to be utilized in a very judicious, in a very balanced way, the distribution is very, very good. That's why our constitutional framers have given what? Okay, central authority and state subjects, a federal form of government is given where the state and union subjects are completely what? Devoluted. So it means what? Power distribution happen or not? Yes. If the power distribution happen, it is very difficult to have a autocratic or dictatorship type of government. It is further even expanded if you see in the form of 73rd and 74th Amendment Act with the help of APRIs and municipalities, right or wrong, and cantonment boards are there, port authorities are also there. So you just imagine that whatever Merriam has said, our constitutional framers have thought in 1947 only. So we have got something, okay, we know that if the power is coming from the people, it should not become a dictatorship. That is what has happened in Germany. Germany also, Adolf Hitler was actually elected by the people only, but he became a dictator, does not want any party to exist, does not want anyone to talk against about the state. So he just put everyone into what? As dissension, and also murdered a lot of people also. One religion, one ideology, one culture, one values, one party, one people, one decision, everyone should obey. That's what Adolf Hitler has said. Because there is no scope of distribution. That is what our constitutional framers have done. Never give power to what? One particular institution, which is the central government now. So they have divided into state governments. They have again put a scope in DPSP that panchayats and municipalities should be created. That is what has happened with the help of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. I hope the concept of power is very, very clear to you. In the next class, we will be discussing about authority, then we'll slowly discuss hegemony, etc. so on and so forth. I'll create a separate playlist for it so that it will become easy for you to just find the topics and get your syllabus done. Okay, all these are very important, whatever we are discussing. More than that is not required. I have done the research of ocean research I have done. You don't have to do much research on it. Learn it and just get the things done. Do join my classes, test series and mentorship. Do share my channel. Why are you not subscribing? Okay, just a click away. You should do it. Thank you.